Y'all even know why I chose that song. Great morning. Great morning. Great morning. Great people. Y'all ain't even gonna believe how I had ended up getting to that song this morning, but that's what the Lord had gave me in my spiritual this morning as I was getting ready for the morning. Great morning, great morning, great morning, great people. Welcome to this morning's message. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling good. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Today is a great day, and great and amazing things are going to happen for us today. Y'all, come in, like the live, share the love, drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance. Good morning, honey one, and good morning. I hope y'all are feeling well. I hope you're doing good. We got a good message this morning. Y'all, if you are new to the community or to the message, welcome. We are so happy and so grateful that you are here. I'm going to have to get my water, ain't it? Hold on, y'all. Because, baby, that wasn't even, well, y'all had said, y'all sure told me like not even 5 seconds ago. Baby, I ain't even I ain't much got no water in here, do it. If you are new to the Bible Clarity and the message community, welcome. We are so happy and so grateful you are here. One thing, one rule, don't come over here with no religiosity in your spirituals because we're not on that, okay? We are in the book of Job this morning. We are in the book of Job this morning. We are on Job 31 and 32. It's gonna be a good message though. The Lord had gave me some understanding on it this morning, so it's gonna be a good message. But I'm just told y'all, don't be mad at me, okay? Don't be mad at me. I'm not the one. I ain't do it. So I got to give y'all what the Lord had gave me because I don't feel like I should have to go through stuff by myself either. Y'all gonna have to get what I got this morning. Just saying. So like the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Of course, we will get the community. I'm gonna tell y'all why I chose that particular song this morning as well. Because the Lord gave me that song. Why I feel so. Wait a minute, child. That the way the sun is out today, the way the sun. We receive you, Lord, but it was a little warm. It was getting a little toasty outside. Y'all, so we've been hopping to the book of Job. Let's get into Bible clarity. I have a grateful Thursday testimony if we have time to share. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I would love for you to come up, stay over here on Instagram. I literally was just talking about the other day, and I don't think you were on here, that for us to start back doing the testimonies, right? So it can be Testimony Thursday because I feel like all of us, I got a story to tell too. It's so crazy, y'all, how the enemy was at work yesterday. I'm gonna tell y'all about it when we get ready to get into the message. The enemy on one, he was on one, he tried it, but he ain't win. I might have had to. I'm gonna tell y'all about it because y'all ain't even gonna believe how my day went yesterday. I'm just gonna give glory to God. True story. Give God the glory because if it wasn't for him, baby, listen. Y'all, wait a minute, Lord. That was attached to the wrong piece of clothing, wasn't it? I was trying to show everybody my credentials. Y'all, I just lost a little thing on my microphone. So y'all let me know. I hope the mic ain't too bad. But I lost what's the little styrofoam? Is that what it's called? The little thing that go over my microphone, and I cannot find it. So anyway, so I hope the mic don't sound too bad. On to do it. Let's get to it. Let's get into the book of Job this morning. We are in the book of Job, Job 31 and 32 for Bible clarity this morning. Now, I'm just told y'all right now, go on, sit down, get yourself in order. Go on, just you gonna understand the message in a minute. So here we go, y'all. Here we go, child. The Lord had given me the business this morning. This is that check me that's coming up. Come on, the queens of life. We receive it. Good. Hello, dearest one. Job 31. What can I expect from God? Y'all know we are reading out of the Message Bible this morning. I have read this in all 3 translations, and that check me in my spirituals was still the same every time I did it. So let me just tell y'all, baby, listen, what can I expect from God? Y'all didn't I just tell y'all don't be mad at me? I ain't the one you mad at. That's what I should have called it, shouldn't it? I ain't the one you mad at. Y'all have said it. Okay, here we go, y'all. I made a solemn pact with myself never to undress. Wait a minute. It might get a little deep over here. I made a solemn pact with myself never to undress a girl with my eyes. Let me give a little recap real quick. So first things first, y'all know Job and his friends, them, they've been going back and forth, talking to each other. The friends basically been trying to convince him to and make him say that he was guilty of what something he had done something, and so the friends have been trying to convince him and make him say that he is guilty of something. Okay, so he is standing on business, right? Job is standing on business like he ain't do nothing, and what you not gonna do is tell me I did something and I ain't do nothing. So that's where we're at. That's the recap, child. We done went through 50 chapters where the friends is trying to convince Job that he had to do something, and that's why the Lord didn't allow all this stuff to happen to him. Because y'all know he lost everything. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning, Tyler Perry. Good morning. Good morning, Devin. Good morning. I don't know if it was him or not, but I'ma speak like it was him. Meant it. Okay, I'm back. So so this is Job. This is his response. So what can I expect from God? What do I deserve from God Almighty above? Isn't calamity reserved for the wicked? Isn't disaster supposed to strike those who do wrong? Isn't God looking, observing how I live? Pause. Now that's why I called this every little step. Because then I want to say, which Bible is this? Y'all know I got three of them. This one, and this is the NLT translation. And this one, it literally says, doesn't he see everything I do and every step I take? Okay, so that's why I was playing Bobby Brown this morning, but we're gonna talk about that a little bit more as well. Doesn't he mark every little step I take? Good morning, Blue. Have I walked hand in hand with falsehood or hung out in the company of deceit? Weigh me on a set of honest scales, so God has proof of my integrity. If I strayed off the straight and narrow, wanted things I had no right to, messed around with sin, go ahead then, give my portion to someone who deserves it. If I've let myself be seduced by a woman and conspired to go to bed with her or him, take how I resonate your spirituals, fine. My wife has every right to go ahead and sleep with anyone she wants to. For disgusting behavior like that, I deserve the worst punishment you can hand out. Adultery is a fire that burns the house down. I wouldn't expect anything I count dear to survive. Hold on, y'all. I gotta talk y'all something. I know if you new, welcome to the community. Listen, y'all. I was reading this. Let me see which translation, which one is in. Hold on, because I got to tell y'all. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, y'all. When I say I was so tickled, don't be judging me. I got to read this in another translation so y'all see how I was cracking up with the Lord this morning. Let me find it. Hold on. Which one it was in, Lord? Because I wrote it down. 3110, 3110, 3110. So okay, y'all. I'm sorry, but I got to get this out. So we're of course in Job 31. So in the end of our NIV translation, y'all, this says, if my heart has been enticed by a woman, or if I have lurked at my neighbor's door, then may my wife grind another man's grain. Y'all, I don't know what they was doing back in the gap, right? But when I just had to share that with somebody. It was just me because it was so funny to me. Not grind another man's grain. Anyway, I'm back. I just had to tell y'all that. Don't be out there lusting after nobody else stuff. You don't want nobody. Don't be grinding no other man or woman grain either. Have I ever been unfair to my employees? When they brought a complaint to me, what then will I do when God confronts me? When God examines my books, what can I say? Didn't the same God who made me make them? Aren't we all made of the same stuff, equals before God? Have I ignored the needs of the poor, turned my back on the indigent, taken care of my own needs and fed my own face while they languished? Wasn't my home always open to them? weren't they always welcome at my table? Message. Have I ever left a poor family shivering in the cold when they had no warm clothes? Didn't the poor bless me when they saw me coming, knowing I'd brought clothes from my closet? If I've ever used my strength and influence to take advantage of the unfortunate, go ahead, break both my arms, cut off all my fingers. The fear of God has kept me from these things. How else could I ever face him? If only someone would give me a hearing. Did I set my heart on making big money or worship at the bank? Not at the bank, Lord. Did I boast about my wealth, show off because I was well off? Was I ever so awed by the sun's brilliance and moved by the moon's beauty that I let myself become seduced by them and worship them on the sly? If so, I would deserve the worst of punishments, for I would be betraying God himself. Pause. Whoever wrote whoever wrote this message Bible, child, they know somebody, because this language is real. This language is real. They have some understanding. But that's why the message Bible is really good, because it puts stuff in terms in terms and the way that we actually talk now. Okay. Did I ever gloat over my enemy's ruins or get excited over my rival's bad luck? No, I never said a word of detraction, never cursed them even under my breath. I did that yesterday, but I'm gonna tell y'all about it. I'm sorry, Lord. You know my heart, but you know I was mad. Didn't those who worked for me say, he fed us well? There were always second helpings, and no stranger ever had to spend a night in the street. My doors were always open to travelers. Did I hide my sin the way Adam did, or conceal my guilt behind closed doors? Because I was afraid what people would say, fearing the gossip of the neighbors so much that I turned myself into a recluse. You know good and well that I didn't. Oh, and if only someone would give me a hearing. I've signed my name to my defense. Let the Almighty One answer. He calling God out. I want to see my indictment in writing. Okay. Anyone Anyone's welcome to read my defense. I write it on a poster and carry it around town. I'm prepared to account for every move I've made to anyone and everyone, prince or pauper. If the very ground that I farm accuses me, if even the furrows fill with tears for my abuse, if I've ever raped the earth, I hope don't ban me, for my own profit, or dispossessed its rightful owners, then curse it with thistles instead of wheat, curse it with weeds instead of barley. The words of Job to his three friends were finished. Now, Job 32. Elihu speaks. God's spirit makes wisdom possible. Job's three friends now fell silent. They were talked out, stymied, because Job wouldn't budge an inch, wouldn't admit to an ounce of guilt. Then Elihu lost his temper. Elihu was the son of Barachel the Buzite from the clan of Ram. He blazed out in anger against Job for pitting his righteousness against God's. He was also angry with the three friends because they had neither come up with an answer nor proved Job wrong. Elihu had waited with Job while they spoke because they were all older than he. But when he saw that the three other men had exhausted their arguments, he exploded with pent up anger. This is what Elihu, son of Barachel, the Buzite, said. I'm a young man, and you are all old and experienced. That's why I kept quiet and held back from joining the discussion. I kept thinking experience will tell. The longer you live, the wiser you become. But I see I was wrong. It's God's spirit in a person, the breath of the Almighty One, that makes wise human insight possible. The experts have no corner on wisdom. Getting old doesn't guarantee good sense. So I've decided to speak up. Listen well. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. I hung on your words while you spoke. Listen carefully to your arguments. While you searched for the right words, I was all ears. And now, what have you proved? Nothing. Nothing you say has even touched Job. And don't excuse yourselves by saying we've done our best. Now it's up to God to talk sense into him. Job has yet to contend with me, and rest assured, I won't be using your arguments. Do you three have nothing else to say? Of course you don't. You're total frauds. Why should I wait any longer now that you're stopped dead in your tracks? I'm ready to speak my piece. That's right. It's my turn and it's about time. I got a lot to say and I'm bursting to say it. The pressure has built up like lava beneath the earth. I'm a volcano ready to blow. I have to speak. I have no choice. I have to say what's on my heart, and I'm going to say it straight. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I was never any good at bootlicking. My maker would make short work of me if I started in now. The end. This kind of left us on a cliffhanger, but we're not gonna find out what Elihu had to say. Y'all, we finna get into this message. I want y'all. I'm gonna need this is almost something I know you got to do. You're gonna have to go read Job 31 and 32 for yourself, because what I'm finna tell y'all, baby, listen at me. I'm talking about call them out. Y'all, let's talk about the message. Make sure you go back and read this. You're gonna need to, because the Lord finna tell you why in the message that we finna give. Y'all, like the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Drop this in the here we go. Y'all ready? Let me drink some water. Because that's how I felt after the Lord got done with me on this particular part this morning. I'm gonna get another Bible so I can tell y'all. Now, I just already told y'all, don't shoot the messenger, but drop this in the chat. See what had happened was, woo, see what had happened was, this was me this morning reading Job 31 and 32, especially Job 31. Especially Job 31. Let me just tell y'all what we finna talk about. See, what had happened was, you ever had to hit one of them? See, what had happened was, I had to do that this morning because I had to ask for some forgiveness. So as I was reading and getting ready I had a whole nother message prepared for this morning, but as y'all know, the Lord has been giving me some different instructions, and so we are going to kind of focus on Job 31. Because some of us, the Lord might be convicting us a little bit in our spirituals. Why? You ever done something and you know you weren't supposed to do it? This is conviction. That's what we're gonna be talking about today. And again, I'm not the one you mad at. The Lord had to check me yesterday. Let me tell y'all how this even played into my life yesterday. Message. So y'all, if you was on here yesterday morning, y'all know I had to get off the live rather quickly. Why? Because my daughter called. So normally if my daughter calls me, she knows I'm going live. So if she called me one time and I don't answer, then she's not going to call back. But if she calls me again, then I know something's wrong, because she's not going to call me back to back like that, because she know I'll be at work at this time. And so, true story, y'all, when I got off the live yesterday, I answered the phone. Somebody had them busted my daughter's window out yesterday in her car. Now, mind you, she parks inside the gate, right? She parks inside the gate. Her apartments have a gate. So they busted her car. Now, y'all, my baby got one of them little bitty cars that when you look at this car, you're not going to look at that car and think it's something in there that we want to take, right? She got anime stickers on the windows. Like, it ain't nothing that you gonna look at that car and be like, yep, that's the one that's gonna have something in it. She ain't got no tent, so you can see in the windows. So somebody busted out her window yesterday. So when she calls, so she gets up to go to work and her car window was busted. And so that's what I ended up doing. I ended up going over there yesterday. I didn't trip out, didn't spaz out or nothing, right? But now let me, so I was actually really, really calm. Very proud of myself. I was really calm. But she ended up having to take my car to work, and I ended up having to take her car to go and get the window fixed. Now, here the part where I might have had to ask the Lord for forgiveness. I did it yesterday, but I had to do it again. Because in this other translation of the Bible, the Lord say, did you curse anybody? And I might have cussed somebody. I did. I did. I cussed them, and that ain't even. So two things I had to ask the Lord for forgiveness, because it was a day. So now somebody then busted out my baby window. Get this fixed. I did. I had cussed them. I had only said the one cuss word, though it was the only one, but it was one of them good ones, and it came from my whole spirituals, because why you messing with my little honey bunny? Moving forward, crazy thing is, y'all, about 2 months ago, how about somebody busted out my daughter in Texas busted her window out. Anyway, I'm back. True story. So then I'm driving down the street. I done got my baby taken care of. She good to go. I'm driving down the street. Y'all, I done been on the interstate. Why a rock flew up? Why a rock flew up and chipped? I felt it. It was finna come back, that same word. And chipped my insert cuss a word window. I said, so you mean to tell me that my baby window get busted out, and then all of a sudden, of all the days, a rock flew up and chipped my windshield? I wish I could show it to y'all. So here go me. I go in AutoZone because I'm like, okay, maybe they got, I can go price it, look and see if they got some window repair, whatever. Y'all, when I went in the AutoZone, shout out AutoZone, get in the zone. I was, but not that one. And I seen what they had, and I seen the price before I knew it, y'all. I said, I know you, I know you lying. That's what I said. That's what I said. Because I said, it ain't no, this, it ain't no, y'all know, can just insert it start with an M and it got an F in the middle, because that's what I said. The Lord still, he know my heart. So that literally happened yesterday. So here come me reading the book of Job this morning, and the Lord say, did you cut? Y'all think I'm lying? I had to go in the Bible as I was reading this. I had to put some check marks by all the stuff that I needed to ask for forgiveness for. And it really yesterday, because I hadn't cussed the little people in I did. And so what he wanted me to talk to some of y'all and myself, well, I'm gonna give it to y'all because he gave it to me. If you ever want to know what you need to ask for forgiveness for, child, I was Toya. Baby, it wasn't no Touche. She was on the inside, and Toya hadn't came out, and that's baby, listen. Toya, she had a moment yesterday. Toya had a moment. I gave her moment too. I gave her moment. But I had to go through Job 31 yesterday, and I started making check marks, y'all. I mean, to this morning. And I say, dang, Lord, it's a lot of stuff that I have to ask for forgiveness for. I say all of this to say this, y'all. So yesterday I got them cuss words at my spirituals, but I said what I said and meant it. The Lord still know my heart, but I am who I am. What do you need to ask the Lord for forgiveness for? I had to ask for forgiveness. And it's some things that even though I didn't have to ask for forgiveness yesterday or today, I done. If you ever want to know what you need to ask the Lord to forgive you for, go read Job 31. Don't read it in the Message Bible, though. I want you to read it in the NIV, because it's really going to tell you some stuff that maybe you don't even think about. Because the Lord told me that this morning, sometimes we do stuff and it ain't even intentional, right? Like, you don't have malicious intent. Sometimes you're angry, like I was yesterday. And I had done good all day. It wasn't up until I didn't start cussing until I'm driving on the interstate to go to the place to get the car window fixed. And you know how when you ride with your windows down, the sound be like weird if you have like two of the back, like let's say you have like one of the back windows down or both of the back windows down, and it's like you have this weird pressure and this weird sound. That's how it was, because this whole window was gone. And so that's when I had said my cuss words. So sometimes you'll do things and you'll say things in anger. Sometimes you'll do things and you really don't have malicious intent, but you also have to, we have to learn how to be okay with the Lord convicting us about the things that sometimes we don't even think about. If you ever have any want to know, don't understand, Lord, what did I do? Often there have been times when I have told y'all that it's like I don't even be to known what I done did. I'll ask for forgiveness anyway, but I don't even know what I've done. If you ever want to know the things that maybe you've done that the Lord, you might need to get some check you in your spirituals, please go read Job 31. Because in Job 31, you're going to understand some things that we do that we don't even think about that we do. For example, if you've walked with falsehood, or my foot has hurried after deceit, if you've gotten off the wrong, if you've gotten off track, if you've gotten off target, if your hands have been defiled, if what's another one? I had to check mark them for the ones that I was even aware of, and even for the ones that I don't feel like I've done. Message. I had to ask for forgiveness. If I've denied the desires of the poor or let the eyes of the widow grow weary, if you've cheated, if you've been an adulterer, okay, if you've lusted after someone else's husband, wife, I'm not here to make you feel no type of way. I have cheated in relationships before. So ain't no judgment, but you got to be honest with yourself, right? If you kept your bread to yourself and not shared it with people, if you've seen other people perishing for lack of clothing, or the needy without garments, if you put trust in money and let money be your security instead of the Lord being your security, if you rejoiced and been like, oh, I did this, and not humbled yourself, if you've done any of these types of things, if you worship the sun or the moon or the stars, we don't worship them. We thank you, sun, for shining today. Thank you, Lord, that the sun rose, and thank you that the moon's still controlling the tides, because the Lord created them to do that, but we shouldn't be worshiping them. If you rejoiced at your enemy's misfortune, if you've allowed your mouth to sin by this the one that had got me, this Job 31:30. If you've allowed your mouth to sin by invoking a curse against their life. Now, I ain't cursed their life. I didn't curse their life, but I cursed at them. Meant it. Message. Why? Because why just people be working hard for their stuff? Why you want to mess with people's stuff? And ain't nobody got money to be spending on unnecessary stuff. Why you messing with folks' stuff? Leave people's stuff alone. Anyway, so for whoever this message is for, but if maybe it was just for me, as the Lord is getting ready to transition us and move us into this season of elevation, go talk to the Lord and just be like, you know what, Daddy, see what had happened was my mouth had got a little ignorant. Why? Because they had busted my baby window, and I don't play about the one tease. Okay, look, not they life, just some fleas. Just you so foolish. Not they life, just some fleas, right? You so silly. So I'm not here, because it's not my job nor my responsibility. Thank God for God. I'm not here to convict you. The Lord convicted me, right? But yeah, like, child, just leave people alone. Because I really be trying to do right, y'all. Even like I really be trying to do right, and not like I don't really be cussing at folks. Like, I don't do that. If you had caught me about 3 years ago, baby, you'd have got all the business, and I wouldn't have cared nothing, because his mouth was real ignorant then. She still taught you right. She stayed where she at. But sometimes I have said to myself, Lord, I don't even know what I've done. And what the Lord gave me this morning was, if you need to figure out what you've done or what you may need to ask for forgiveness for, please go and read Job 31. Conviction from God is when the Holy Spirit makes a person aware of their sins, and it's intended to lead to repentance, renewal of a person's relationship with God. It's a chance to make things right, and it can lead to repentance, where a person acknowledges their shortcomings and seeks grace from God. But that don't mean seek grace and then go do it again. That means When you know better, you do better. Drop that in the chat. When you know better, you do better. It can feel like a heaviness on the heart or a nudge that you did something wrong. And some things are done unintentionally, and God knows that. But when we know better, we do better. And that's what God requires. So reading through the book of Job this morning made me aware of just how much God has forgiven and given me grace for. Can we just say thank you, Lord? Thank you, Lord. Thank you for grace. Thank you for forgiveness. Thank you for giving me understanding. Thank you for giving me clarity. Thank you that even when I mess up, you still love me and you didn't take things to the extreme and turn your back on me. Now, let me tell y'all, because one of the things, I don't even know how I ended up going over there to First Samuel about this, but as I was reading this, because one thing I don't ever want to happen, I got to stay on the right side of the Lord. I got to. This me reading this morning, it as I was studying for it, it took me over to where Saul got raised up. Saul raised up Samuel. He went to a medium, and I heard a message about this. I want to say it was either yesterday or the day before, but it wasn't the same context that the Lord gave me about it today. So if you go read this in First Samuel, Saul, basically David was getting ready to step into his kingship, right? The Lord had already declared and told Saul, since you don't want to do right, he basically turned his back on Saul and said, no, I'm not going to keep fooling with you, right? And so as a result of that, hello, dearest one. I don't want to say it wrong. Malaikum assalam. Is that how you say it? I hope I responded to that correctly. I just remember that from being a kid. Okay, I'm back. So at this point, Saul knows that basically because he praying the prophets with nobody, like he trying to talk to God and with nobody, like the Lord was not responding. So he ends up going to a medium. She raises the spirit of Samuel, and Samuel say, listen, it ain't nothing I can do because like the Lord had already told you that you ain't it's a wrap. It's over with because you was disobedient for too many times. I don't want to be Saul. I don't want to be the person that God turns his back on for being disobedient, especially if the Lord then told you what you done did wrong. Don't be Saul. Okay. Don't be Saul. Okay. Um, we don't want the Lord, we don't want to lose the Lord in our lives. That is what fear of the Lord is for me. Like that, I got to stay on the right side. That's also righteousness, right? Right relationship with the Lord, right standing in right position with him. So I hope that helps somebody. Go and repent and ask the Lord to forgive you for some stuff, the stuff you got in your heart, the stuff you ain't telling nobody about. Go ask the Lord for the forgiveness so he can start bringing in the blessings, because that's what he wanted me to finish on was you're going to have to ask, you're going to have to admit to some wrongdoing, because ain't all of us are sinners. We were born sinners, right? So you're going to have to admit to some stuff so the Lord can start blessing you with some stuff. Because if you see, because ain't none of us perfect. Of course, we know the only perfect person ever was Jesus. So if you won't admit to the things that you've done, the Lord's like, well, if I'm going to bless you, and you don't want to admit to the wrong that you're doing. So we're going to admit some things, okay? And I hope that made sense. That is not the message that I originally had for this morning. What I thought we was going to talk about was thirst trapping, but I'm not going to tell y'all about that yet because it might come up at a later time. So I thought we was going to be talking about some thirst traps today, and yeah, said it. Now I don't know who. Now it ain't me because I ain't thirsty. Well, yes I am, but it all depends on the kind of thirst you're talking about. Okay. That's y'all. Is that tracking for y'all? Now let's see some stuff that the Lord want to talk about. Y'all like the live share, love. Let's see what else is happening. We're gonna get some scriptures. Which one we used yesterday? Did we use this one? I think we did. So let's get this morning's message. Y'all, I can't wait to get I can't wait to get I'm gonna get it. The Lord gonna bless me with it. I can't wait to get the new deck. Y'all know I have a new Oracle deck, the preparation for the promise deck. I can't wait to get that one because it has some different scriptures, even from the ones that are in these two. So I can't wait to get that one. It's coming though. Y'all make sure y'all get it. Y'all know it's like a succession from this morning's message, A Word in the Wilderness, Preparation for the Promise. So y'all make sure y'all go to my website, touchegermain.com. Get your decks. Even if you don't read tarot, all of my decks are not tarot. Some of them are scriptures and proverbs and psalms and all that good stuff. So make sure you get your now. These people be thinking, if y'all was on here yesterday, let me just tell y'all. Let me show you something. This is a different deck. We did not use this deck yesterday. Yesterday, we used A Word in the Wilderness. But I literally told y'all yesterday that the number 828 came up. I'm trying to tell somebody that there's a blessing coming. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, those who've been called according to his purpose. Yesterday morning, the number 828 the Lord pointed out the number 828 for me, and it actually came up in this deck as well. Okay. Oh my gosh, Sandy, you got yours. Sandy was the first person to order that deck for me. Yes, please, please, please. If you've ordered anything from Spirit and Glam by Touche Germain, please go to my website and you can just scroll down, y'all. I have a Google page, Spirit and Glam by Touche Germain, and please leave me a Google review. I just created this Google page the other day, so make sure that you go and drop me a review, whether it's oracle cards, whether it's lip gloss, whether it's eyeshadow, whatever you've purchased. Please make sure that you leave me a review. The last oracle deck that I put out is Preparation for the Promise, and so Sandy actually has that one. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm excited because I feel like it's really a progression. And y'all know, like, I have this deck. This was my first scripture deck that I created that we're using. And then I did A Word in the Wilderness. And they're all scriptures and things that have helped me learn and grow and advance in my walk with the Lord. So even if you don't read tarot, I still have a deck for that. So don't act like, oh my gosh, no, because you can go pull you a scripture every day and get your word of inspiration and encouragement. Okay. So thank you so much, dearest one. Please leave me an honest review. I'm excited. I can't wait to get that deck for myself. Okay. So back to Romans 8:28. So yesterday, the Lord actually gave me the number 828. And this actually came up in, come on, parrots. This actually came up in the other deck yesterday as well. So, and look, that was on my screen this morning, Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. So let's see what else we got coming up for today. Okay. Isaiah 22:22. Here we go again, talking about these keys, y'all. I got the keys, the keys, the keys. This talks about government. I will give him the key to the house of David, the highest position in the royal court. When he opens doors, no one will be able to close them. And when he closes doors, no one will be able to open them. One thing that I know in this season is the Lord has given us the wisdom so that we can elevate, y'all, so that we can elevate, advance, and move into something different. Malachi 3:10, bringing the whole tithe into the storehouse. I really feel, and this ain't everybody, because again, I'm not here to try to tell you that you're in a season that you're not in. But if you know you've been putting in the work and you've mastered the step that you on, get ready for your next step. Get ready for your next new beginning. Because I feel like that's what message. I feel like that's what the Lord is trying to make us understand, that no matter what stage you're in, he's trying to bless you in the season that you're in. Many of us, as we're going through different parts and transitions in our lives, we oftentimes think that this is it, or we're not going to receive, or that the Lord is not going to take care of us. Can we just drop this in the chat? God's got me. He got my back. He got my back, my front, my up, my down, my left, my right. So you have to be able to, but you have to go through these transitions and these stages and the preparation. It's preparation for the promise. And that's why I feel like that deck is coming up. All of us are being prepared for whatever the Lord has promised us. And he has a promise for each one of us. But you're going to have to go through your trials, your tribulations, and your stages in order to start seeing that promise made manifest. So whatever your struggle is, and also this is where the conviction comes in as well, because the Lord is just like, listen, I don't want to bless you. Come on, God, I can't bless you with what I want to give you because we don't want to make the same mistakes. Does that make sense? We can't keep making the same mistakes and think that, well, God's just going to forgive us. hence the story of Saul. We don't ever want to do something and know we doing wrong and then think, well, the Lord, he gonna give me grace, and he gonna be all right with what I'm doing, y'all. Like, we don't want the Lord. It's that, look, that camera's so dark, y'all. I'm sorry, it's the sunlight. And then if I do like that, look, okay, I'm back. It's dark on that side. We don't ever want to do something so much that the Lord be like, ain't no coming back from that. Does that make sense? It ain't no coming back. There's no comeback for you. So we want to make sure that we're always doing the best we can to do the best we can. And so we don't have to keep coming to the Lord and asking for forgiveness. Does that make sense? Like, dude, we gonna do better. We gonna do better. Y'all, I'm sorry that's dark. The sun is out, and before I was able to move into, because it's dark on the other side of the street. Okay, I'm back. Listen, Habakkuk 2:2 and 3 was at the bottom of the deck. Then the Lord said to me, write my answers plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. The vision, because the visions are being made manifest. Whatever it is the Lord has been giving you to do, whatever your instructions, whatever you've been writing down, thank you, Lord, I receive it. It feels like things are starting to come to pass. And so you just got to know to do better in whatever, so you don't make the same mistakes, because we can't take this old energy into these big blessings that are coming in. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. One of the other things the Lord was talking to me about today was that the delays and the blocks are really, he's really removing them, but he got to make sure that you're going into these new beginnings and into these blessings with the right heart posture. That's where the conviction is coming in, y'all. When we want to start receiving the benefits of being kingdom citizens and be like the Lord really protecting us and taking care of us and giving us provision and all those things, we got to make sure that you got your heart right. You got to make sure your heart is in the right position to receive those things. If you like want me, I've told y'all this before. It's why I don't do personal readings, because I don't feel like that's something that the Lord has me doing in this season, right? I used to do personal readings, but when I was doing personal readings, I was doing them for money. You understand? I was doing them for money. I was doing them for my own selfish benefit, which is why I don't do personal readings. Now, I'm not knocking anybody who does, but the what I know now that I didn't know then, and that's why I could put a check mark by one of those, was like, it was all about the money for me. And it's not about the money for me. It's about the message for me. And it's about actually empowering and helping people to truly be and become the best version of themselves. And so, knowing that, that's why I choose not to do personal readings. That was one of them. I'm gonna do better, because I don't, basically I felt like it was, once I had some understanding, I don't want to pimp my gift. Does that make sense? As they say, sometimes you can run and keep going running, but you can and never will be able to hide. You surely can't. Hello, dearest one. um you surely cannot. And that's one of the things, like, that's why every little step came up. The Lord sees everything you're doing, when you, whether, even if other people can't see you, the Lord can see it. Message, right? He knows everything that you're doing. So that's why you got to show up and be good, be the right person behind the scenes. Y'all, can I tell y'all like something that the Lord convicted me about yesterday? And it wasn't even a thought for me, but even let me just tell y'all, like, this is how serious I take when like I pay attention to stuff. So you ever been somewhere, be like, okay, like, you ever brushed your teeth in public? And so, like, I'll brush my teeth, and in my head, I'm thinking, like, I'll spit it just outside my window. Does that make sense? Or just outside my car. So brush my teeth and I'll spit it outside my car. Me, I am like, I don't want to spit it on the plants, the flowers, I don't want to spit it on that, because to me, I feel like that's something that's alive, and I don't want, does it make sense? So I'll spit it on the ground. But at the same time, it's like people actually have to clean up where I would spit on the ground. Does that make sense? This is a true to life story. I'm not even making this up. So it's things like that where the Lord will be like, okay, well then just spit it in the garbage. Does it make sense? Like, does that make sense? Because I'm like, I don't want to spit it on the flowers and the roses because they're actually alive. And like I try to be respectful of things that God created. But at the same time, I'm putting additional work on somebody. Y'all know it don't really rain in Southern California. Okay, I'm back. But I say, well, you know what? Let me just do better and let me just spit it in the garbage, right? It's things like that the Lord will convict you about, and I'll be like, "You right, Lord." So pay attention to just stuff like that, like being more considerate of things like that, and it's little things like that the Lord will be like, "Hey, do better, okay? Do better." So just know that was just an example because that happened for me, and I was like, "You right, Lord, I can do better." So just saying. Okay. What else? Humanly speaking, it is impossible, but not with God. Everything is possible with God. Drop that in the chat. It's all possible. He makes everything possible. There's nothing that is impossible for God. And what I think, y'all know, we're in a season where we're allowing the Lord to show us what He can do, message, and not what we can do. It's all possible. There's nothing that's off limits. There's nothing He can't do. There's nothing. The problem be we be trying to figure out and do it for ourselves. And the Lord said, not in this season. And He meant it. Okay. Not in this season. We gonna sit back. We gonna step back and we gonna allow the Lord to do His good work because He can do it so much better than we can. So let's see what else is coming out, y'all. Let's get some cards. Y'all like the live share the love, and see what else. Look, that was Ecclesiastes 9:10. Which ones? Well, we don't use them very often. When is the full moon, Lord? Let's see what we got. Clarifying Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, those who've been called. I feel like, not what? It'd be calling me. I feel like the Lord is trying to call somebody into their purpose. Maybe, and we've been talking a lot about that this week. All of us have a divine assignment. And I feel like the Lord, I'm telling you, I feel like the Lord is trying to get all of us to do what it is that He called us here to do. Makes sense? Here we go. Gemini energy, first card to come out. This, of course, talks about, this is the Lover's card. This is a crossroads. Communication, witty, intelligent, affectionate. Which part? Somebody getting ready to, if you've been feeling like you're at an impasse, they just said, feeling like you're at an impasse, the Lord is trying to make you make a decision. Like a lot of times Gemini energy gives me, I don't want to say double-minded, but double-minded or wishy-washy, if you will. Somebody gonna have to get off the fence, okay? You don't have to get off the fence and decide what it is, which direction you're going to take, which route you're going to take, what you're actually going to do. And I understand, and the other thing the Lord has been talking to me about, somebody's getting ready to scale back and not be doing too much. He told me that, again, conviction, because I feel like the Lord is trying to keep us focused. One of the things we just read in Job 31 is talking about we don't have to try to do so much. If there's something very specific and you know that it's what you feel called to do, you don't have to try to do so much and try to do so much so fast. So for some of you, He is giving this energy of slowing down and just saying, listen, be really good at doing the one thing that you know you're really good at, and don't feel like you have to try to rush through a process. Don't feel like you have to rush through or rush and try to get everything done at one time. You don't. And that's something the Lord was talking to me about. He said, okay, you have the things that you are doing right now. Let that be it. Get really good at those things. And I heard that, I want to say, in a message this morning or yesterday, get really good at, but you don't have to you don't have to try to just get it all done at one time. Take your time and be willing to be patient with the steps, because what is happening is you're already come on, God, you're already on your path to success, but you don't want to don't outrun God. Does that make sense? We're not going to outrun God in this season. So for some of you, if that's what you've been trying to do, it's exciting. Gemini energy is very exciting, but you don't have to try to outpace God or outrun God. So they said, put that up. Look, the blue moon because we're going to use these tomorrow. That's why I asked when the full moon was, because I've been feeling the energy to pull from that deck, but I hadn't done it. So we're going to move past that and we'll come back to it tomorrow. Let's use prosperity, clarity. Okay. What else? Child only one. Who getting married? Somebody getting married. Somebody has some new relationships, some new commitments. This might actually be a relationship. Well, come on, relationship. If that's what you're asking for, that ain't for everybody. Okay. Here we go. What else? Here we go. We have the storm warning that is coming in. A series of unfortunate events. That was for me, huh? Temporary setbacks, speaking death into your destiny and out of options. I feel like what's happening is the Lord is trying to make you trust that he's going to bring you through the storm. That's the first thing that's coming through on this. Prayers being answered. Psalms 23, that came the other day. Yesterday, y'all, true story. When I was up there getting my baby window fixed, the guy comes back and he says there was like the little regulator that makes the window go up and down. He was like, it's probably messed up. And if it's messed up, then the window wouldn't be able to go up and down. He was like, they'd have to lock the window and then we would have to get the regulator replaced. Can I just tell y'all that as soon as he said it, I was like, oh my gosh, y'all, I just started praying. I was like, Daddy, listen, this enough. So I just started praying. I didn't even worry about it. I just went outside. I took a walk while they was fixing the car. And I was just like, Lord, it's just in your hands. You know what's going on. You know what's happening. And I left it at that. And I kid you not, the man never came back out and said that they had gotten it fixed. But when I was getting ready, they were getting ready to bring the car out. They got it done. He was like, oh yeah, he was able to fix it, by the way. I want somebody to I don't even know how you want me to say it. You got to be close to increase, to elevation, to opportunity. I was telling my daughter yesterday, I kid you not, when somebody broke into my daughter's window in Texas a couple of months ago, because y'all know, like, I have different things that have been happening in my life. And when the enemy can't trigger you, you do know that he will try to come at you. He will come at you in different ways. So when he come up against you and he can't get you to get out of character or the same, the same tricks, enemy got the same playbook. So because he couldn't trigger me message to be different, I feel like anytime I'm getting ready to elevate, he'll try to come up against my children. Because of course I pray over my children every day. And so my daughter, this her first car, of course. So she don't have the same she don't have the same patience that I have, right? She doesn't have the same, like, God is gonna do it that I have. And so she was a little stressed out, but I wasn't stressed at all. Crazy thing is, y'all, I was getting ready. You know how when you come on, Venom, telling y'all the enemy, you know how when the enemy can't get to you, he'll go after the people that you love. And so the last time, a couple months ago, and I don't remember what it was that was happening great in my life. It may have been right around the launch of Touche Cosmetics. I think it was right around that time. That was when someone busted out my daughter's window in Texas. And yesterday, you sitting up and you talking and we like, who could have done this? Who would have done this? And, people start speculating and people it could be this person, that person. I say, well, ultimately we'll never figure out who it is. But I said yesterday, and I told my daughter, I was like, it must be somebody getting ready to advance. I said, whether it's me, whether it's one of my children, the Lord is getting ready to increase and bring some favor into your life. Open a door, an opportunity, a person showing up, a connection being made. Whenever all of this stuff starts to try to come up against you, especially when you walk in your purpose and you're doing what the Lord has told you to do, the enemy gonna try to come at you and get you off track and get you out of character. So just know that, y'all. If you've been experiencing a lot of setbacks and delays, it's simply because you're walking in your purpose. Drop that in the chat. I'm walking in purpose. And he's trying to make you be afraid. He's trying to intimidate you, but we ain't gonna get scared. We ain't never scared. I ain't never scared. What? Because I know the God that I serve and I know how protected I am. And that's why even last night when I got this chip in my windshield, I said, you thought, I was like, so you thought that I was going to get, yes, it made me mad, but it still ain't going to stop nothing. Don't think that the enemy going to come at you less when you walking in purpose. You going to have more attacks. You're going to have more warfare and things coming up against you, but don't let it pull you out of character. Don't let it make you be who he wants you to be, right? Now, I said my cuss words and I asked the Lord for forgiveness, but I'm telling you that the Lord is protecting you even in the storm. Remember, we talked about the other day that even while Job was going through his trials and his tribulations, he still gave glory to God and honor to God. Like God still has he still got me, he's still clothed. He's still clothed. The Lord is still protecting him even through the storms, the trials, and the tribulations. So know that, okay? Know that. Let's see what else is coming out for this. And that's why the enemy be mad, child, because he don't have the same hold on you that he's had before. If you really have just decided, like, child, I'm just gonna let the Lord handle it. I ain't gonna worry about it. The Lord got me. And even if something come up against me, the Lord is always gonna make a way. I was just like, Lord, help. Help. I just started praying. And y'all remember, and this is, I want to say it may be, oh my gosh, I want to say whatever the prayer, whatever it is it Philippians 4 and 6? I think that's becoming my new, like, that is almost like my new mantra, not to worry about anything, but not nothing. I ain't worried about nothing because I know I got support. I know I got support. So I'm not going to let anything bother me. Okay. Next, look, Philippians 4:19. Come on, God, and supply all of my needs. And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. I'm telling you right now, everything's going to be taken care of. Everything is going to be taken care of. Listen, one thing that I'm learning in this season, and this is something that I'm praying every single day. And if you can wrap your mind around it and just believe it, that you're going to be taken care of. I'm telling this story so that you can see that even when come on, God, this is a way out of no way, y'all. This is a way out of no way. That's my song. Come on, Only Love by the Judds. Okay, that was wrong. That wasn't even what that was back. Okay, I'm back. Listen. I'm telling this story because when I tell y'all it was a way out of no way yesterday, me and my daughter were both just like, oh my gosh. Like, and me, I was like, well, Chunk, I can't do nothing today, but by Friday I should be able to help. And I just said, you know what? I say, Lord, help, because I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know. And then I just said, and I'm not going to try to figure out. And sure enough, we didn't have to. And everything was taken care of just the way that it needed to be taken care of. So this is like, I have such a different understanding now of Philippians 4:19. And I pray this twice a day, y'all. Like, I really speak that back to the Lord and learning and just praying different, and just knowing that because we're doing our best to walk in righteousness, this is why the Lord will convict you to let you know, like, hey, be honest with me, because you be honest with yourself, because you can't lie to me. Keep yourself on the right path, doing the right things. Why? So that the Lord will supply all of your needs. Does that make sense? It's not that is the importance of being in right relationship with the Lord. Thank you, dearest one. If you do right, then the Lord can supply everything you need and you don't have anything to worry about. And so that's why we want to make sure that we stay on the up and up, because that's how you continue to receive the blessings. Because I don't want the Lord to cut off the blessings. I want him to keep responding and listening to my prayers and answering me. And so he literally showed me that yesterday, show me my shortcomings, show me where I was falling short, but it also let me know that the things I'm praying for and when I'm talking to the Lord, that he's listening. Does that make sense? Philippians 4:6 says, don't be anxious about anything. Instead, through prayer and supplication, or prayer and petition, depending on which translation you listen to, you watch, or you read, ask God for what you want and be thankful for what he has given. That literally is becoming my new mantra, because he really is supplying everything, y'all. Everything. And it's so much better than what you thought. Giving you the keys to wealth, the keys to wisdom. Remember, we just got done talking about the wealth and counting your money. Don't count the money, because your money belongs to the Lord. Everything you got belongs to him. So drop this in the chat, and I hope this makes sense for somebody. I'm gonna give it back. I'm gonna give it back to the Lord. Everything that I have, I'm gonna give it back to the Lord. My daughter had cashed at me the money since I went to go do the car for her. So she had a little bit of change left over, right? Now, I've been paying my tithes to the best of my ability. I'm sticking to 10%, right? Tithing 10% of whatever I get. I don't care if it's $10. I'm going to give the Lord 10%. Message. So she had some change left over from, I kid you not, the number, it came up to $211, y'all, for her to get the window fixed. And so the change, she had cashed at me like $215. I took that $4 and I paid tithes on her behalf. On her behalf. Because I told her, I say, child, it wasn't nobody but the grace of God that got this taken care of. There's no, because we couldn't have done it as seamlessly as the Lord did. It wasn't no delay. It wasn't no nothing. It was just like I knew exactly what to do, how to make it happen for her. And I say, child, I'm finna pay these tithes on your behalf. Give it back to God, because look what he just blessed you with. And so it's me helping her to understand, like, listen, everything we have doesn't even belong to us anyway. It belongs to the Lord, right? Making a light. Wait, y'all know I can't hardly see. I don't be ignoring y'all comments. Y'all know I can't hardly see, because I got my contacts on. Making a life out of the right way of living. Child, listen, got to, okay? The thumbs up that popped up after you said that. Come on, God. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, come on, attitude of gratitude and Deuteronomy 28:12. Like, y'all, I literally, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 up under that. I paid tithes on her behalf. Hey, Tammy, how you doing, dearest one? Because I was just like, it was nothing but God, y'all, working yesterday. And I be telling y'all this stuff, man, so that you will understand. Like, I'm not just up here telling y'all that I'm praying just for nothing. I'm telling y'all so you can go pray. I'm trying to share things with you that will help you to step into this kingdom life, into your kingdom authority, into your kingdom power, into your kingdom assignment, whatever. And these are the things, because all of us, remember earlier this week we talked about, my whole goal is to help people understand how to get out of the situation that you don't see a remedy for. Everybody, but everybody ain't gonna do it. Some people are going to ask for answers, get an answer, but then they're not going to do anything with the answer. Some people, and this was me at one point as well, you praying for a way out, the Lord give it, but then you don't receive it. I need somebody to just say, I receive it. Because we're not going to keep praying for the same things when the Lord be done bless us with an answer, but we don't have the courage, or maybe we don't like the answer. And that's part of conviction as well, y'all. The Lord giving us answers and solutions to stuff, and we got to take what he's given us so that we can truly get out. And I receive it. Okay. I receive it. I receive it. So, Lord, show me what I'm doing wrong so that I don't keep doing wrong, so that I can receive the abundance, the blessing, so that I can keep the supply going. Telling y'all, I don't get it right all the time. But if the Lord showed me that I'm doing something wrong, well, let me stop doing that, because I don't want to block my blessings. And what the Lord is trying to get us to understand is how we can be in the way of our own blessings. Does that make sense? We don't want to keep blocking our own blessings. If we gonna pray, come on, God, if we gonna pray and ask the Lord for a way out, then we got to be willing to take the discipline. We got to be willing to take the correction. He's not telling us because he's mad at us. And if the Lord, because first of all, the Lord ain't gonna low rate you. He ain't gonna make you feel bad about what you did, because 10 times out of 10 you already felt bad about it. That's that check me that you got to put in your spirituals. We know when we've done something wrong. We know it. We know it. I knew soon as I cussed the little people name, my bad, Lord. See, what had happened was they had broke the 101 window. My bad, Lord. I knew it wasn't right. Didn't stop me from doing it, but I did it. But I also can acknowledge when I'm wrong. I cuss the word it again, my daddy. It's just been one of them days, Lord. It's been one of them days, and he understand that, right? The Lord ain't gonna turn his back on you, because he gonna be like, okay, because he understands because life still gonna be life, and y'all, life still be life, but we have to be willing to say, okay, Lord, life in, but you giving me this answer, you're giving me this solution, so I'm gonna take it. Message. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take the answer, and that way I know that I really don't have to worry about it. I got to do what you said do, but it's only so we don't have anything to worry about. I hope that made sense. Okay. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season, and to bless all the work of your hands. A grateful heart, reciprocity, return on your investment, open the flow of abundance, and be grateful for the little things. I can't even begin to explain the gratitude in my heart. And this is clarifying, y'all, the Habakkuk 2, 2, and 3 card. Didn't I just tell somebody that the Lord, whatever the work is that you've been doing, as long as you're continuing to do it, and as long as, which part? The enemy trying to make you give up. Don't give up in the storm. I'm going to keep encouraging you to get closer to God while you're going through the trials and tribulations, because the enemy's trying to he's trying to make you spiral, is what they just said. Like, he's trying to make you spiral, and he's trying to make you get off the path. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Just like Job, and I don't want to spoil it, but if you've read the book of Job, y'all, we're not going to find out why the Lord allowed, just because he can. It's a true story. There is nothing in the Bible that is going to tell you exactly why God allowed Job to go up, all that stuff to happen to Job. So don't think you're not gonna get it. It's a cliffhanger, and it's simply because he can. So it's a matter of, are you still going to praise and show gratitude and give thanks, even if the Lord has challenges coming up against you? We are, because we know that those things are temporary, right? The Lord is getting, I told y'all, somebody finna get a blessing. There's something that is, you start showing gratitude now. Gratitude, it's been a lot of gratitude coming up this week. So he finna make something impossible, wealthy beyond measure, something that seemed impossible to get over, to overcome, whether it's a mindset, whether it's some obstacle that's been in your way. I feel like it's getting ready to be removed. Okay. Bye, dearest one. Thank you so much. So we'll see what happens, y'all. We'll see what happens. And I told the Lord, I was like, Daddy, I don't often give any conviction. Look, not the meeting, child. Come on, all together now. Not the meeting came up. I don't often give like any conviction kind of messages, because that's not usually what he has me to do. But because that's kind of what was coming up in the book of Job, he's like, look, I want you to address these things so we can start to bless these things. Okay. That's just it. What else? And so, and just know you are not alone. Okay. You are not alone. Now I'm not going to be able to get it. What is it? I'm not, and ain't. Mm-mm. Child, and it's face down. Think happy thoughts. This says, I always attract wealth. My creative abilities attract unlimited abundance. I'm a magnet for wealth and abundance. I have unlimited potential and possibilities. Which part? Let me say this to somebody. How do I explain it, Lord? Some of you are getting ready to step into new environments, and it's not, I don't want that to sound bad. Say it another way. Where the Lord is placing you now, it's going to require a different level of you. What do I mean? So as the Lord is putting you into new positions, like let's say you got to know how to be in the environments that the Lord is placing you in. Does that make sense? We're not talking about code switching, but it's maturity, right? I don't, and this is no conviction again, but this is just being like, I can always use myself as an example. There are certain places, there are certain rooms, you got to know how to carry yourself as the Lord is come on, God, as He's elevating you and putting you into position, depending on what your assignment is, He's going to require you to level up in your maturity, in the way that you present yourself. The way that you used to do things is not going to work in the new environments that He's placing you in. And some of you, it's like He's not trying to, this doesn't mean don't be yourself, but it does mean that because they're bringing up influence and affluence and putting you in alignment message, putting you in alignment with people who are maybe powerful or influential. It's about knowing that as He's positioning you, you got to know how to carry yourself. And this is not about, like, this is not talking down on anybody, but this is like you being willing to, gosh, I hope that made sense, because maybe that was all I needed to say. Don't change yourself as you're stepping into these new rooms, because for some of you, what's happening is the Lord is getting ready to put you in places and positions and around people. And maybe there were some people who thought that there was only one version of you, but as the Lord is elevating you, He's also allowing people to see different facets of you. And maybe some people judged you wrong, or they thought you, and I've talked about this before, but this is for someone like maybe people have only seen one side, and so they didn't think that what's a good example? They didn't think that you could communicate well. They didn't think that like, y'all know I'm real country, right? I'm country, and I'm not going to stop being country. I was raised in the country, so my accent ain't going nowhere. But but it's also about knowing, like, I'm not, when I send an email, my email doesn't sound like, you don't hear an accent in my email. Does that make sense? So it's just about knowing, like, some people, I think whoever this is for, people have misjudged you. Like for me, I know there have been people, like, people think, oh, she country, she this, she that, or baby, you don't even really know who I am. And it's not about code switching, but don't get it twisted and think that there's only one version of a person. Part of what this is, when I come up here and give these messages, I'm just my authentic self, but I'm still country, and I'm still going to talk the way that I talk, but I also know how to have a very intelligent and articulate conversation. And so I'm using myself as an example so that you understand that there may have been some people that pegged you wrong, and they thought that there was only one side, or maybe that's why they dismissed you. But the Lord is getting ready to show those people you had it wrong. And that's why we shouldn't judge people, because just because I have somebody doing something on assignment, that doesn't mean that that's all there is to you. Does that make sense? So for some of y'all, just know that there have been some people who didn't even know, they judged you, or they stereotyped you. Thank y'all. Like, they stereotyped you, but they really didn't have an understanding of just how intelligent you are, how articulate you are, how much sense you actually have. Now, on the flip side of that, you don't know what you don't know. So don't be taken advantage of, because there are people who will try to take advantage of you because of what you don't know. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope that makes sense to somebody. Okay. We're not going to change who we are. We're not going to switch up. We're not going to do any of that. But I feel like whoever this part of the message is for, they pegged you wrong. Like, they didn't, what you mean? I don't know. I don't know if somebody wrote you off, for, I don't know. I don't even know what that's about. But just know, maybe some people thought that you weren't I don't know, child. Just be who you are, but don't let anybody try to make you feel less than. Continue to be who you are, and just know some people play themselves out of knowing who you are. They didn't play you. Does that make sense? Because they didn't get a chance to. They didn't take the chance to know you, so they assume some things about you or who you are, what kind of person you are based on like it was superficial. So they really don't know who you are, but it feels like the Lord is showing them that you're a lot more than what they thought you were. Okay. What else? I don't know, child, whoever that was for. It's like it's not more than meets the eye. It's more than meets the eye. Yes. And because he's putting like it's like the Lord, which part? It's simply about, yeah, because if you've been downplaying your power or downplaying your authority, it's simply about you stepping into that and now carrying that, almost clothing yourself with your authority, with your power, and it's nothing you're doing, but the Lord is forcing you to put that on. Like, no, you gonna step into your power and your authority, okay? So, child, not Transformers. That's I told y'all. Where do I sign? Just, just where do I sign? I don't know if what deck. I don't care what deck we use, we pull. I don't care. There is a contract. New job, new relationship. It's not, I don't care what deck we use. If the contract keeps coming up, that means there's a contract coming in. Now, this may not be tomorrow, but this is for whoever this is for, and I receive it for all of us. Whatever it is that you're signing on the dotted line for. Y'all know we be on, let me sign the NDAs. Come on, service. So for some of you, whatever it is that you're asking for, just know that the Lord is bringing it because it's coming. And I don't know, all of us are doing different things. So some of you, this may be an opportunity to put your light on display because let your soul glow and you got help. This is a setup. This is a divine setup. Drop this in the chat. This is a divine setup. This contract, whatever this is, your spirit names, your ancestors, angels, and ascended masters have been working OT to make this happen. Some of you are getting ready, and this is affirmations, but I feel like some of you are getting ready to really, like the Lord is putting all of your talents on display. He's really getting ready to make you show up, show out, and shine. Your ancestors are working behind the scenes, heavenly help, because it's time for this. Ask and you shall receive, creating and aligning divine connections and spiritual support. I've been telling y'all all this week. And just even with what happened in my own life, the enemy can't stop nothing. The enemy can't stop nothing. This time, why? Because this time you didn't fall to pieces when the storm started happening. This time you didn't revert back to old behavior message when things began to happen. This time you did things differently. And as a result of that, the Lord knows that you've matured. Come on, passports. The Lord knows that you've matured. Somebody going global, worldwide, go traveling. Now that he knows that he can trust you, now that you've matured and been willing to accept, the criticism don't hit the same. The people talk, the warfare don't hit the same. All these things that you may have reacted to differently before, you don't handle things the same. Now you just be like, I'm gonna let God do it, and you truly mean that, and truly stepping into that is what's bringing this in. He had to prepare you for this. He had to prepare you to receive it because this is not, again, whatever's coming in, it's an elevation, it's an upgrade. So it's not, the enemy ain't gonna come at you less, he's gonna come at you more, a little stronger, because now you're stronger and you got to be able to handle stronger attacks. Does that make sense? I hope that helps somebody. That's it. It's some connections, divine connections. Which part that go with the people may have wrote you off. Protect yourself, the level up. Look, I told y'all, and everybody can't go with you. New levels, new devils. Told you, toxic work environment, energy vampires. Everybody's not going. Why? The victory is yours. Debt cancellation, positive affirmations, paid in full, and an abundant mindset. You already won. That's it. You already won. It's just about knowing, like, okay, Lord, you right, because you don't want those things that you're not willing to admit. That's why the Lord is like, hey, just do a double check on self real quick, right? Do a double check on self to make sure that you have those things in alignment, because you get what you pray for. Telling you, resources, the wisdom to create wealth, divine instructions, and next steps. That's it. That's all I got. Okay. The highest you can achieve in this human realm is exactly the person as He, God, Allah, sees you in His creation. Child, listen, telling you that's all you can do. It really don't hit the same, Sandy. It really don't hit the same. Like the stuff that used to bother me, I just be like, oh, okay, God got it. Stuff start happening. Oh, okay, God got it. Like I don't have time to worry. I really am leaning in on Philippians 4 and 6. Man, I'm not finna fight. I'm not finna worry. I'm not finna stress myself out. I'm not finna let the enemy try to take me backwards because I'm in the flow, baby. And somebody getting a second chance at what? I don't know. I'm telling y'all, I don't know. I don't know if you got passed over for something. A second chance that's coming in. Told you somebody might have pegged you wrong. And now because they did that, there's a second opportunity coming up for somebody. I received that. I don't even know what it's about, but you'll know because you'll know what's happening. You know what's happening in your life. So just saying. That's it. Go read Job 31. Okay. Go read Job 31 and just talk to the Lord and be like, you right, Daddy, my bad. Like, see, my bad, Lord. But because He understands. He knows it like it. I don't know. The Lord know I'm a work in progress. He know that He still work on me every single day. I don't get it right all the time, but I do my best. And if I mess it up, I'll be like, my bad, Daddy. Like, that was my bad. But at the same time, we human. We're human, so we have things that you got to own up to the things that you do. Let the Lord discipline you because He doesn't. We can't let that be what tricks us or traps us up in the next season. Okay, so divine setup. Divine setup. Look, I almost called it. My bad, Lord. That was almost what I called this message. Like, my bad, Daddy. Like, I think I did. That's why. Oh, I did over here on this side of the street. I was like, my bad. My bad. Like, my heart. I'm trying to do right, be right, and all that good stuff. My bad, Daddy. Yeah. So we receive it. I receive these setups for you and me. I receive these new beginnings. I receive this prosperity in the name of Jesus. We receive it, y'all, because many of us have been waiting a month of Sundays for stuff to start opening up, new pathways to happen for us. And I receive it, Lord. And the Lord know my heart. I say, baby, Daddy, you're going to have to come on with it. Come on with the come on, because we've been waiting. And so we're going to start receiving, y'all. So I receive for you and me because it's been a long time coming. So just know that. Okay. Just make sure you follow whatever your instructions are for your life, for your assignment. And I just heard, not Nehemiah, don't come off the wall. Was that Nehemiah? That's what I just heard. Don't come down. Don't come off the wall. Don't get tricked out of your character. No matter, it don't matter, man. Ain't nobody got time to be worrying about people coming. Well, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not finna give that no energy because who has time for that? Okay. And so that's it. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. What is the community for today? If you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets for 8/8. Y'all make sure y'all sign up to become a Spirit and Glam ambassador. A Spirit and Glam ambassador. You can do that on my website. I think today is the cutoff of Fab Over 40. So y'all make sure y'all drop a vote for me on Fab Over 40. Shop Spirit and Glam. Get on the email list. That's it, y'all. It's going to, like, I just feel, and maybe it's just me, I just feel this energy of something, like something. You ever just felt like it's something just like right on the peripherals? That's the word. The peripherals, like you can feel something. For some of y'all, I had a dream last night that somebody, okay, let me say this real quick. Do I have to? Let me go and get it out the way. I don't talk a lot about monitoring spirits and all that kind of stuff. Because I just don't, but I'm only gonna mention it because last night I had a dream about like somebody walking up and looking in my window. And so and I don't know who, and I don't know, and I've never had it before, but I had a dream about, like, so I don't know, they just like, well, they walked up and they were like looking in my window and just looking. They didn't say anything. They weren't didn't do they just was looking. So I don't know much about monitoring spirits or any of that. Like, y'all know me, the way I feel about it. I just be like, how you gonna stop somebody from watching you? Like, and I don't care. That's me, because I don't have time. Like, I don't have time for that. So if this is you, please get out. And this is me just giving, and this is me saying this, not the Lord. Baby, we don't have that kind of energy. We got too much going on in life. Like, we too busy trying to build and grow and expand. We don't have time to worry about who's watching us. You gonna watch, and I'm gonna still be praying for you and keep it moving. So if this is your message for whoever sees this, if it's not anyone on here now, if it's someone in the future, baby, we ain't got time to worry about that. We ain't got time. What if your nerves respond to it? I had a leg cramp and saw I was being watched last night. I don't listen. I'm gonna say this. Y'all know I'm very much this type of person. I'm not gonna give the enemy that kind of credit in my life. I'm not gonna give nobody that kind of power and control over me. If you speak something, or if you're the one that's giving it power, I refuse. Y'all know I'm big on no. Because if you give the enemy a foothold to make him think that he has any kind of control over you, then you're giving him the power to make it so. You ain't got no power over me. None. None. So I don't care if it's people, I don't care even if it's a situation, whatever it is, I do my very best to not, I'm not going to give anybody that kind of power over me. Like, no one has the power to control my body. Message. No one has the power to control my day. That's me. Was he looking? Was the looking in the window? Was it peeping, sneaky, or even nonchalant? It was more so just looking. I didn't even. It was just looking. It was like someone just looking. They were just standing there looking. But it was like a shadowy figure, kind of. It was black. It wasn't, I know that it wasn't someone, I would say, quote unquote, positive or of the light, if you will, because those figures show up as light for me. So this was someone that was, I don't know, I don't know, they weren't someone that I know. They weren't someone that I'm receptive to, because they showed up as a shadow figure. And that's me getting that from the Lord. I know how my angels show up. I know how I know when it's the Lord, and it wasn't that. It was someone just kind of like just watching, but all they can do is watch. Right. And I just was like, oh, okay, like, oh, okay. So I didn't know if that was just for me, but I'm sharing that because sometimes people, like, if people are watching you, let them watch. Let them watch God do great and amazing things in your life, and pray for them and pray that God continues to do great and amazing things in their life. Like, I'm not on that type of time where I don't have any ill will or anything to anybody. I want everybody to be great. So, even if I'm just not even, I'm not on that. So, but I know it wasn't someone who was necessarily, I would say, rooting for me, because they did, just because of the way that they presented themselves. I hope that made sense. I always say to them, or those, sir, don't ask me how, but I know exactly where you're going to or need to be right now. But I can assure you, above all, that your child, yeah, watch this go. This glow up is real. Like, this glow up is real, and can't nobody block it. Telling you, the keys keep coming up. Somebody maybe you finna get some keys in your hand. I receive it, Lord. I don't know, because I'm expecting the Lord to do the impossible. And with him, humanly speaking, it's not possible. With him, all things are possible. So we are definitely expecting the Lord to do the impossible. So some of you, myself included, this could be new place, new keys, new cars, new houses, apartments, new jobs, new offices, new office buildings. I don't even want the office. I want the building. Okay. And so if you're someone who, and this is not everybody, but if you're somebody who gives energy to what other people are thinking, just don't. Who has time for that? Like, I just don't have time for that. I'm too busy trying to be great and grow. So yes, we're definitely unlocking doors. Okay. Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me. For you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Psalm 25:4-5. That's it. That's the only person who has any control over my life and what I do and what I say and how I present and things that are happening. Only God has power in my life. That's it. So that's it. Okay. That's it, y'all. Go be great and amazing. Have a great and amazing day in purpose and on purpose. Hydrate your soul. Drink your water. Say your gratitude. Go be great, amazing. I can't. Oh, wait a minute. Come up. Talk about it. We got time. We got time today. I didn't forget. Come give some testimony. How do you request? I want to hear this testimony real quick. And I'm gonna try to put the camera over here. Come give us some testimony. You said you had a testimony story. I almost forgot, didn't. It is Testimony Thursday. So we finna have go live. Go live. He already know. Look, I hope did you come up? I did it. What happened? I gotta put the microphone over here so we can okay, do it again. Okay, wait. Oh, there we go. What you was doing?
Did it pop up?
It did. I can see you now. Hey, Hunter One, what you was doing?
So first, let me tell you this message. First of all, put that true conviction.
Child.
When I say true conviction, I
Mm-hmm.
want to get a testimony. I'm also like, no, I need to work on myself. I give this testimony.
No, you don't. Go ahead, tell it.
So I'm gonna overall say this week has been a test and trial.
Mm-hmm.
When I say test and trial of me truly coming into alignment of what my purpose is. So I'm gonna start. I did what you asked me. You gave that because you know I have to watch your videos afterward because my job has
been at work. I have a message about that, but I got to wait and give it to you. Go ahead.
So when you say Proverbs 3, 5, and 6,
mm-hmm.
that have
what happened? Where him went? I don't know what just happened, y'all. Okay. No, not that one. Okay. Child, I don't know what's happening on the Instagram today. You still on? Okay, you back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay, you back.
So I'm gonna start. It's a story, but I'm gonna start this.
That's okay. We here for it.
I have been going through the trials and tribulations of my purpose, and I won't lie. I let my partner get in my head because I was thinking like the teaching and the counseling, and he told me like we were talking. I'm like asking, "What do you think?" Like he was giving me his advice on my purpose, and he was like, "Teaching was your gift," because someone else told me at the school that I work at that teacher was my gift. So I was just listening, and that kept in my head the entire week. Like, did I mess? Like, I had the question: Did I truly mess up my purpose by going into counseling, like starting school, knowing that if I quit, I would be without a job. I would be back home. But if I would have stayed, I would have been miserable in the classroom with the new principal because I'm hearing stories of what's going on over there. So in my spirit, it's like, thank you, Lord, because I would have left like the first week doing all this. But that constantly stayed in my head, like, did I miss out on my purpose by leaving the classroom, knowing that I was unhappy? And then as I started going through the week at work, like I asked the Lord to reveal to me my assignment. Like, I was trying to think of something that I wouldn't see on a normal day, like as a sign. So I said, just show me doves, because you don't see doves for real.
Correct.
So I started going through my day. The first time it happened, I was actually looking on Instagram, one of my past students, and he had a dove on his profile. So I was looking like, okay, I'm tracking, but it's like the Lord knows I'm going to ask for more signs just to confirm. So yesterday, I didn't get a chance to watch your message till after work. But before I watched your message, I unpacked a whole box of crates. Tell me why it had an angel. The whole crate was angels and doves.
Come on, God.
Holding a dove. I was like, okay, that's number 2.
Telling you.
And then when your message yesterday, you say, just ask God, He gonna reveal the answer to you. And Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 was the scripture that came up with. It was like, okay, Lord, tracking. And then today it's like, oh, that's why I said that conviction got in. It was like, you keep asking for a sign. This is your sign. Like, you did not make the wrong decision.
Correct.
Like, this is what you were supposed to do. You let somebody else, like you kept saying, someone else cannot tell you your purpose. You have to live out that. But that conviction that you let someone else tell you your purpose, and that got in my head, like, did I mess up my purpose or what He was planning for me? Because on top of that, 311 kept showing up, and I kept like, what is the delay? What's the delay? And like that conviction came like today, and I was just like taking notes as you was talking, like I usually do. It's like, that's the conviction. You were the delay. You like waiting on you to actually make that choice. Like you said, hop off the fence.
Child, listen.
It's like, are you gonna hop off the fence and make the choice and know that I'm leading you, not man? Like, I'm leading you. So that was like that testimony came in before I was thanking God for something else, but it's like all of this kind of like, okay, listen. I receive it. That's why I'm going to read Job again and just like go like check mark. Like, I know I had to ask for forgiveness for doubting because I let somebody else get in my head. But it's when it kept popping up, like birthday, my whole birthday kept popping up, the whole date, month, and year. All last week is angel numbers.
Oh, wow.
And that's when 311 popped up. So it's like, today I was off for a reason. It's like, you have to hear this message. You cannot hear the back end of this message. But it's like, yes, I was like, thank God I'm off today. But as I listen, like, okay.
Wow. Well, first of all, let me just say this for people who don't know. You know me and you are so in alignment till it's crazy, because we've been on this journey together for almost 4 years now. So you know we're in alignment, but I also know that you haven't really been on the messages because you're at work now. And so I am not surprised. I saw you commenting on the video from yesterday, but I was getting ready for the message this morning, so of course I hadn't read them yet. Let me just tell you something, and you already know this, but I'm gonna tell you, we ain't in a season of letting other people direct and dictate what our moves are going to be. Message. And the Lord put that check me in my spirituals a little while ago, and so just keep trusting yourself. If you weren't happy in what you were doing, you probably would have stayed for the sake of making somebody else happy, but we're not doing that in this season. You would have been miserable because somebody else wanted you to stay in something that was no longer making you happy. And this season, we got to follow our happiness. We have to follow what is going to feel the best for us. And even if it's something good, one thing the Lord been telling me a lot about is you can do something good and it be the wrong thing. Good is not what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be doing what's great in the Lord's sight. And a lot of us get tripped up because we start doing what's good and thinking what's good is what's right, and it's not. And so good teaching would have been good, but it wouldn't have been right, because the Lord, come on, God, the Lord is forcing us into elevation. He's forcing us to move up. And if you had stayed there, you would have been keeping yourself. It would have been like, okay, it's good, but it ain't great. And the Lord is trying to give us great. So I'm grateful that you had that clarification and that understanding. And we're going to keep asking the Lord, but just keep trusting. Like, listen, I know I'm making the right decisions and I'm doing what I feel called to do, not what anybody else is calling me to do. I went through this a couple of weeks ago myself. This is a true story. Insofar as what I was like shifting my focus and what I know the Lord told me versus what I thought what I was finna try to do, because he's in that season where he's like, you gonna follow me and you gonna listen to me and you gonna do what I'm telling you to do, or either are you gonna let me lead or you gonna stay stuck, and we can't stay stuck no more. So he gonna give you the signs. So the message so now that you told the story, let me tell you what happened. This was day before yesterday. I don't know if you had commented, there was something that I saw. And I was just like, I think I may have mentioned it. I was like, man, you don't really be on here because you be at work now. And so the Lord said, decide. And I was like, huh? But I didn't know what it meant. But then when he started, it's like all of us are at a point with making a decision. But I didn't think anything else about it. I just was just like, okay, Lord. And I just left it alone and kept on moving about my day. But it was right after I had commented or responded to one of the comments you left. And I was like, oh, he's got to make a choice about something. But I didn't know what the choice was. And so your happiness, I'm done. That's it. That's why I be putting the cards up. Your happiness.
Because I'm gonna tell you, the videos like I've been watching Dr. Monroe, that's what started to change.
Listen at me.
These videos out of order. I didn't realize I watched it out of order. But the vision was the YouTube video was about vision.
Listen.
And when he said that, it sent me in not a spiral, but it sent me down a rabbit hole of why Mary didn't give Jesus his name, because of what they do in Hebrew culture. The name states what they're meant to do. So that sent me down a rabbit hole. Okay, I know my name is in the Bible, so I know my name has meaning. So I went in and looked, and I just said, I read everything. It's like my purpose, even in there, was to teach and to counsel, to be a therapist, because my name needs to descend. When that's descending, which comes from wisdom. And as I looked at the characters, like you are humble, like the characters meant humble, down to earth, and you had a message about being. But you have a message, and Dr. Morrow had a message like people can't message because you're down to earth because you keep being your authentic self.
Correct.
So like all this came it just sent me down a whole rabbit hole. It was like, okay, Lord, I'm actually tracking.
I'm tracking.
My name was meant for this. You actually made my mom name me this, because she only picked me because so much she liked the name from her friends. And then my middle name, which is also is Michael, which means one like God. So it's like all of this combined this week. It started that clarity of you did this to yourself. So it's like you said decide. Yesterday, even yesterday, I had to pray in the shower. Lord, I surrender. I'm renewing my covenant. I can't do me personally. I can't do it. I cannot run this by myself.
That's it.
Because every time I do this, yes, something good happens, but then I end up being miserable.
That's it. And I think that you and I are both really, whether people believe it or not, I be talking to Dr. Monroe right now, message. I be talking to him, me, Spirit Nim, me and him be having whole conversations, because I absolutely believe that now that he is in the spirituals, that he knows some things that he didn't know when he was here, of course, but I also feel that he is leading and guiding and directing those who are meant to receive the messages from him to him. Having never heard of him before, and now I watch him morning, all day, night. Like that's literally where I be at. And that's where, but it's crazy because a lot of the stuff that's coming through and from the messages that he's giving are things that the Lord had already showed me, I've talked about, and had no idea about any of it, but he sent him. So there's so much that I'm learning message, but there's also so much that is being confirmed as well that I thought, you think you're crazy when the Lord starts showing you stuff. So there's stuff that's being confirmed from messages that I've been given for all this time. And there's stuff that I'm learning. Like I still feel brand new and learning everything. Um, and I kid you not, the more you watch, I don't think there is an order. If I feel like when the message shows up on, I have like probably 75 of them right now on my watch later. And as I watch them, I just, whatever comes up, it's just like, okay, if I'm supposed to watch more of that, then I go and look at what other videos that are in that series. And so I feel like it's really, he's he's helping us to develop the messages that he was giving are helping us to develop in leadership, in purpose, in vision, in our calling, in it what it is that we're supposed to do. So I'm with you 1000%. I'm still watching and learning every day. A lot of the stuff that's coming as the Lord shows me different ways to understand. He's gonna keep doing the same thing. Like you're gonna keep getting the message, and it ain't even a rabbit hole. But in saying that about your name, that happened for me the other day because I ended up going down a rabbit hole about the name Benjamin, which is my maiden name. But it happened as a result of watching one of those videos. So I get it. Just keep following where the Lord is leading you. Surrender is not easy by any means, but I'm just in a season as is, and I feel like that's what you're stepping into. Is just see what the Lord's gonna do. Just let him bring it to you. And if you kind of can flip your mindset to that and just be like, I'm not even going to try to figure it out, Lord. I really am going to allow you to just bring what you want me to have. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. And you ain't going to have nothing to worry about. Like, when I told the Lord, like, the Lord said, don't worry about nothing. When he started truly giving me the understanding for Matthew 6:33, which is my scripture, I'm just like, okay, Lord, okay, you right. You right. And now that I understand it, it's just nothing to worry about. It's just like, okay, Lord, well, let me just do what you showed me that I'm supposed to do, and not let anybody talk you out of what you're supposed to be doing. I am not that person. I'm not going to tell no, because you're still going to be teaching when you're counseling. But I think that what's happening for you, and this is just knowing what I know, you're finding your niche. Before I spoke, so I don't forget to say this, I want to say I'm so, so, so proud of you. The growth from where you started to where you are now is like amazing. I don't even have another word for it. You can you can see it. You can see it in the way that you are more open with your gifts, with everything, with your life and just what you're experiencing. And I just want you to know, like, it's taken some time, but you can see the growth. I can see the growth, and I just want to tell you that I'm so proud of you because you can see it, just like you have seen me grow and develop in the things that I'm doing and how I'm learning, how I'm teaching, how I'm giving the messages. You are actually experiencing that same growth, and so I just want, if knowing and anybody told you that, I want to tell you because I don't think that you give yourself enough grace, and that's something I've been talking to different people about. Give yourself some grace and give yourself some kudos because you've actually grown so much more than I think you give yourself credit for. And so be proud of yourself. I'm very proud of you, and I'm so grateful as always. Um, for effort. And I will say this because, I am who I am and I'm very transparent. I was going through a stage and I was just like, Lord, because I didn't want you. So this is me, right? I'm always going to be who I am. I didn't want you to feel excluded from anything that I was doing, but the Lord told me that I couldn't include you in some things because He has you going in a different direction. And I was like, I was just like, I don't ever want you to feel like you're excluded or I'm not including you. But the Lord was like, I got work that I'm doing with him over there as I'm moving into new things. And, I was like, I was like, I feel kind of bad because I didn't want you to feel like I was excluding you. I'm not. The Lord just said, no, he's got something else he's got to focus on. So I had to be okay with that. So that was where, when I said the other day, like I was apologizing, I was like, I don't ever want you. I was like, because at first I was like, I don't want him to feel bad or want you to feel like I'm excluded. The Lord just said, no, you have a different direction that he's taking you in. Is that my son? That's my son, y'all. Is that my honey? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hey, honey, Wunny. I don't know if he's still on there or still on here or not. That's my honey, Wunny. Y'all, that's my honey, Wunny. So look, 8 and 28 came up again. Romans 8 and 28 came up again. So anyway, I wanted to tell you that since I had you on the screen. Y'all, that's my son. His name is Jay too. So that was my son popped on for a second. So I heard you say that's my son.
It's because before I would feel sometimes like that, but I think going into this like a different understanding, like you say, mind change. I understand like past turns, like I don't have to be included, but I'm gonna support. That's like you say, the support is free. Time, effort, energy is free. So it's like I may not be included in this, but my inclusion for you is supporting to make sure people hear the word, get in the kingdom. Like that's my job, because I know there's a lot of things that I have to work on now, especially within myself.
And all of us, though. That's not just you. That's all of us. That's that
like
work.
The focus I'm doing, like, how can I, like, because I asked, how can I support her, like, support you and everything. I can do is like pray, support. And as I'm going through mine, it's like, yeah, I like excluded. I'm just gonna. I never felt excluded because like I know what I don't know. It's like I know what my part in this is, and that's to support and to make sure you are being reposed. That's basically reposed.
For now, but I'll leave that for another time. Go ahead.
Well, when the time is right and the Lord says go, I will be there. But it's like that's why I was confused. Like, why she apologize? I don't understand. But it's like I thought about that too. Like it clicked, but it's like I hope she don't feel that way because like I understand where my journey, like my part in other people's lives are. Is like I'm coming to terms with that. But it's like my job right now is like support, make sure her messages get out. Support, make sure this get out. Support, make sure that get out. That's my part as of right now because of like me switching back and forth between my purpose and trying to figure it out. It's like I can see the Lord saying like that's too much for you to handle right now. You're still confused in where I want you to go. So while you're figuring that part out, here's what I want you to do. So like as that becomes like, okay, I'll support. Like I can give support, like I don't mind supporting. That's just me. I will give support because of how much support you have given. I'm not trying not to cry because I know you.
Look, you know I start crying. Don't. Look, I'm finna be Shay. Shay, I think she's still up. She over here. Don't you start all that crying. That's what she's telling me.
All the support you have given me throughout the years that I've been watching you and getting to know you. So it's like, if I don't do anything, I'm going to support you.
I'm so grateful.
Any way that I
love you so much. Like I do. I'm so grateful and thank you for it. Come on, Royal. I love you. And just know, just you ain't got to worry. Okay. If I'm going, you're going too. And that is my word. Of all the people, message of all the people that, just know you always be good. It's good. I am me, and so I said I was gonna have the opportunity to say that, and I ain't got nothing to hide. I mean, it is what it is. So I wanted to just say that and just let you know, like, listen, the Lord just got you on a different assignment, and so he gives us that grace as well to just give us time to focus on trying to get ourselves together. You have a lot that has happened in your life, a lot of moving around, a lot of transitions, a lot of things that are changing. So just focus on you. But you don't worry, you're not gonna get left behind. Trust and believe. You not look. There goes Shay. She's like, don't y'all stop that crying. She be fussing, child. Lord, she be fussing. Don't you be on that doing all that crying? I ain't crying today. But just know that I truly love you. I'm so proud of you. And you ain't you ain't got nothing to worry about. Don't if I'm going, you're going to, and that's just it. So thank you so much for the continued support. I am so truly grateful. It means more than I can even tell you. If you have the video on TikTok, do me a favor, post it on the Google page. I wasn't able to save it. I tried the one that you did on the other on my the Spirit and Glam page. So if you have that video, if you can download it, I couldn't download it myself. I was gonna try to upload it over there, and so period. No Kingdom Kid left behind. This the Kingdom Club. We don't no KK left behind. No KK left behind. So I would greatly appreciate that, and thank you just for continuing to support in every way, like every way. I was talking about you the other day, and I was just like, man, I'm so grateful because you really have supported everything, so many iterations and evolutions of Touche. So I'm grateful for you, and you're just gonna keep doing great and amazing things. So that's just it. That's just it. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what else is going to happen because it's still gonna be great. Other great and amazing things is gonna happen for you, and I can't wait to see everything else that's coming up. So keep us posted. Keep us posted.
Y'all know I always do. I just have to come and share that testimony. Like, oh.
Well, thank you, dearest one. We appreciate it. Thank you for coming up and sharing that with us. Keep us posted. Y'all, we'll know because as soon as when you celebrating, we celebrating too. And I'm proud of you. Do great, amazing things. You're just keep going. That's all I can tell you. Just keep going. That's all I hear. Just keep going. Keep going. Okay. Thank you, dearest one. Love you. That's it, y'all. Some of y'all know this. Like Jay has been with me for so long, like so long. He's been with me, and I'm so grateful for him and for everybody, right? For everyone who continues to support, who continues to show up for me and just be a blessing to me in so many ways. And everybody, I just know everybody's going to do great, amazing things. And I'm so excited to see where everybody's going. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for the testimony, honey bunny. I'm so truly grateful. That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. If you want to put your face in the place, you're gonna have to come on the Instagram side of the street. Make sure y'all give me a follow. I am Touche Jermaine on Instagram and Touche Jermaine on everything else. So make sure you give me a follow. Make sure y'all drop a vote. Make sure that you go and shop Spirit and Glam by Touche Jermaine. Go to my website, touchejermaine.com. Make sure you pick up some Celestial Shine, pick up some High Pop Stardust. I have something new coming out, but more to come on that as it develops. That's it. I love y'all in real life. Go spend some time with the Lord today. Go talk to the Lord and be like, my bad, Daddy, my bad, right? My bad. Because we don't always get it right. So go spend some time and just be like, my bad, I'm going to do better, Lord. We're going to be no better if we do better. I will see y'all tomorrow. Hydrate your soul and things. Drink your water. Stay in gratitude. Have a great and amazing day in purpose and on purpose. And I'll see y'all on tomorrow. Deuces. Love y'all. Bye, y'all. Deuces. Love y'all. Bye, y'all. Thank y'all. That's it.